Hey, this is Meridith Elliott Powell, and welcome again to our live stream. I'm here with my friends, my colleagues, and my co-authors, where we're going to talk about our groundbreaking white paper, The State of American Business, Challenges, Opportunities, and Solutions. Today, we are going to talk about that ever-pressing issue of technology, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Really, what is American business facing today, and what are some of the greatest opportunities you have in the face of technology? Sam, I really want to kick off with you today because I think that this is really your area of expertise. So why don't you kick us off with some of the challenges, opportunities, and solutions we found when researching this white paper?
Well, I think what we've seen and what we learned in interviewing our CEOs for the white paper is COVID, although obviously hugely negative in so many ways for individuals, families, society, and business, on the one hand, is also provided some incredible opportunities as it relates to technology. Specifically, it has forced people to adopt technology. Zoom and what we're doing now, streaming, it's not new. It didn't get invented in March. It's been around for many, many years. What the resistance has always been is, I don't want to do with it, or there's, I don't like this technology, or, my internet's not good enough at home. And then all of a sudden, whatever date it was for you in your business, March 15th, April 1st, all of a sudden you had no choice and you were forced to adopt technology. So I think what the opportunity that COVID has provided everybody is the opportunity to leverage and use technology in ways that they never have before, and that has provided a comfort level for employees to also use that technology.
Mary,
so Mark, what do you think about that?
Go to Mark.
Well, yeah, I'm going to throw some water on this. Yes, technology creates a lot of opportunities. Did I hear water running in the background? Was that a great sound effect, Sam, or what? Yeah, it was good. Anyway, that's great. Here's the situation, though. Just because you have technology or you have technology that you can access does not mean it makes sense. I remember hearing this from one CEO in particular. He made the comment that immediately getting into COVID, his IT department came to him and said they need to do this, 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 and this. Some of it made sense from a security standpoint, all those things. But a lot of it were really nothing more than shiny objects. These were ideas and solutions, really looking for a problem that didn't exist. And I think you have to be very mindful. Where are your IT dollars going? And more importantly, how are they being used? Because I see a lot of things being purchased now. I see a lot of companies. There's a lot of SaaS companies out there now selling wonderful ideas, but they're shiny objects, and you've got to be careful. I say this: if I can't assure that I'm going to get an ROI quickly on my investment, why am I going to invest in it? Because chances are it'll never live up to the expectations of what that SaaS company is telling you. I don't know. Okay, I rained on a few people's parade, but I'm sure, Mary, you've got some comments and thoughts.
Well, this is where it kicks in what we discussed last week about resources. You've got to make sure that your resource allocation is aligned with the goals of your organization. And from my perspective, one of the first things I asked my organizations that I was coaching through this whole work from home transition was, what kind of cybersecurity do you have in place? And everybody went, wait a second, we're still worried about having computers that are hooked up to fast internet. Wait, what? So one of the things that seemed like an easy thing to do was, hey, everyone, make sure your employees have a VPN. Make sure they're protecting the data that is on the network. And that is something it's an easy thing that anybody can do. But some people hadn't done that before. I know a lot of people, when we travel a lot, people like us, you've got a VPN as a matter of course, because you're maybe tapping into airports and hotels, and you're in different places where the internet is not necessarily secure. So that's just one easy thing that you can do. And I think there's some other easy things you can do in order to strengthen your technological infrastructure that doesn't really cost a lot of money. Meridith, what are you seeing your clients doing?
Yeah, so a lot of what I'm seeing my clients doing, I think we're in an interesting time right now, because right at the beginning of this, and I think we found this when we were researching the white paper, is everybody went to technology. I mean, we had to get everybody set up to work remotely. And just yesterday, we here, the CEO of Netflix comes out and everybody's talking about productivity, and we've got to get people back into the office to be productive again. So I think what you've got to do is sit down and ask yourself, I think to Sam's point, we have a great opportunity right now, and technology brings a great opportunity. But what do you need technology to do? I think the first thing you need it to do is to be really easy to do business with. One thing that you've got to understand is the consumer, your customer, has changed. We are all used to sitting at home now and doing everything at the tip of our fingers. We don't feel the need to go to the grocery store. We don't feel the need to go buy sporting equipment. We don't feel the need to go anywhere to even have a meeting or to get education. And so I really, I'm advising my clients to really do an audit from a technology standpoint with their customers, to really ask themselves how easy they are to do business with. I was working with a college, and we went back through their how easy it was to get information, or how easy it was to register for classes. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy at all. And you've got to understand that the consumer and the customer really has so many choices right now. And if you're not using technology for that piece, then you're slowing the process down. I would add to that, you still need people, connection. So really start thinking about how you need to move the people on your team into actually those things that require the soft skills, that require problem solving and critical thinking, the things that technology doesn't do. You really have to cross that bridge of getting technology and people working together. They're not separate issues. So, Sam, with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I would agree with that, and I even Mark, you did put a damper on the technology thing. Says the guy with the AOL dial-up modem, it's actually working pretty well for you right now. It's pretty good. But
I'm holding a signal on my 21 RAM, whatever.
Exactly. But I think one of the things we learned with technology is, and this comes from a CEO I've worked with many times, a gentleman named Spencer Siegel out of Minneapolis, and his quote that I really love is, people trumps process, process trumps technology. And we talked last time a lot about process, or a couple times ago we talked about process. A lot of people, and I think you're all saying this, is CEOs in particular will try to throw technology at a problem. Well, we've got this, let's just go spend some money on technology, and all of a sudden it'll work. So I think one of the key things we have to think about as it relates to technology, and you were all talking about this as well, is the people side of it. You got to make sure that when you are investing in technology, that hand in hand with technology comes training, and also mapping out your process. So why do you need the technology? Why do you care about the technology? So, a lot of, I'll just kind of, Spencer talks about this as well, is that a lot of companies will spend, they'll spend 90% of their budget on the technology, and very little amount of their budget defining the business processes and doing the training. And the rule of thumb when implementing technology, and I think this is really important, is it really needs to be a third, a third, a third. A third needs to be spent on the technology itself, the software, but a third needs to also be spent on the upfront outlining the processes or the business rules of what are you trying to do with the technology? Why do we even care? And who has impacted this? What divisions in our company are impacted by the technology? And what are our customers going to experience with the technology? And then a third needs to be spent on the training. And that's where most companies